Hey there, YouTube. Hope you're doing well. I just got done testing all the changes on the 6.7.0 Midchapter PTB. It's a very controversial one. Not many people are a big fan of it, and I am the weird outsider that actually enjoys this patch. I saw the dev update, and I enjoyed most of the changes. There are things that I have grievances with, but overall, I'm very positive about it. And I like a big, significant meta shakeup, and that's exactly what this patch is going to do. I really enjoy everything that's kind of in here. There's a lot of changes that happen. First of all, the big one, healing. Healing has been changed quite a bit. Medkits got nuked. Circle of Healing got hit quite hard, although they did add a little bit more to it by adding aura reading of injured teammates and yourself to everyone when they're within the radius of the boon. So that's a pretty cool change. You can no longer self-heal yourself within Circle of Healing, which is a big change as well. And medkits are no longer nearly as impactful on a match and on healing. Healing is very big, and Sloppy Butcher is going to become a lot more popular because of that. Overall, I think these are good changes for the most part. I think medkits and the Circle of Healing changes are really, really good. But I do think the baseline healing nerf does need some adjustments. I have a couple ideas of how to change that by changing Mangled or the timer on it, but the best thing I've heard is making it to where self-healing takes 24 seconds, but altruistic healing takes 16 seconds or maybe 18 seconds, something a lot lower, to encourage altruistic healing like this patch is trying to do without healing feeling absolutely torturous for everyone involved. Or tweaking Mangled to where Mangled is now only 10% or 15% instead of 25% slower healing would also be pretty good, because I feel like everyone's going to be running Sloppy Butcher on top of the extra healing stuff, and I think that's where a lot of the griping about the healing changes are coming from, is everyone's running Sloppy, and so everyone is experiencing 25% slower healing than they actually think they're experiencing. And so I think tweaking that down and maybe tweaking the healing down to, even if you tweaked Mangled, but overall, I think that it needs a little bit of adjustment, but I don't think the healing changes are too bad. I think medkits and Circle of Healing are perfect where they are now. Maybe I'll change my opinion on that later on. I also like that healing is promoting an autodidact meta, or inner healing, or things like Resurgence or Solidarity. I think the meta is kind of pushing towards using a couple of those perks more. Personally, I think autodidact is going to become popular. Same with inner healing as well, and I'm a big fan of that. I think I've always enjoyed running autodidact, so I'm very excited about that. I could be wrong, though. You future viewers might be laughing at this sentence right now. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm looking at in terms of where things are going to push towards. I think Adrenaline is still going to be popular. I think Resilience might see more of a push because maybe people don't want to heal as much. More Sprint Burst still. I think Fearmonger is going to become more popular. Just overall things like that. I think Self-Care should also be buffed back up a bit. Self-Care takes so long with the new changes. Oh my god, it takes so long. I think they should definitely tweak that up a bit. But those are my overall thoughts on the overall healing part of it. I don't think it's nearly as big of a deal as people are making it out to be. I think that a lot of people are interacting with Sloppy and Mangled in terms of dealing with the healing changes, and they're attributing that to the healing changes. The changes with Blood Lodge and with Gas Heaven are very interesting. They added a lot of clutter around, and then they shrunk Blood Lodge a lot and put the building in the middle. I'm not sure I'm a big fan of the clutter around the map, I'm going to be honest with you, and I feel like they made Blood Lodge a little bit too small. That being said, the generators are spread a lot. Honestly, with Blood Lodge and with Gas Heaven, I'm going to have to see on live build to see if the maps were adjusted in the right ways or not. But overall, I think I like them. Maybe they'll need some adjustments. Maybe there's a little bit too much clutter. Maybe the main building is a little bit too much in the middle. There's a lot that I can think on. Same with Gas Heaven. I think Gas Heaven's main building is honestly extremely strong now, because they removed one of the breakable walls on the inside, and that makes the building a lot stronger. And overall, the car wall changes are really, really good. The car walls are no longer existent, pretty much. They don't cut off the map. They're not like big stretches to run around. They're now a tile and maybe, you know, just something to run into or break line of sight, but nothing crazy. Really dig that change. Really a big fan of that. Bloodweb changes, fantastic stuff. I know some people are saying that it's too slow, but you got to remember at the same time, it is also cutting out a big portion of the manual work, and it's still a bit faster than it would be before. I think that it could do with tweaking, but as a baseline, the Bloodweb changes are really good. That being said, it took a while to add in, but now that we finally have it, it's good. I like it. I like that there's an auto blood web fill, as well as being able to chain the blood webs together and being able to fill out those blood webs like that. It's pretty cool. I like that a lot. Same thing with the heartbeat change. The heartbeat change is really good for accessibility. and it allows people that are hard of hearing to be able to see the heartbeat. It was already on mobile before. It took a long time for it to get into the game, but I'm glad it's finally here. One tiny issue with it is that Sadako technically has a lullaby, and so she's no longer a stealth killer, so they nerfed her somehow. Don't know how they did that. Other than that, which I think should probably be changed, I like the heartbeat change as well. I think the PNG heartbeat that shows up when the heartbeat itself on your survivor is not visible probably needs to be tweaked a little bit. That looks very, very unpolished and unfinished, so definitely a little bit work needed on that. Dead Heart is gone. Praise Jesus, hallelujah. Just kidding. It's not going to be gone, but it will be used a lot less. People aren't going to be able to rely on it nearly as much in the early game now. In fact, it won't be possible to Dead Hard in the early game now because you're going to have to get a lot of hooks first before you're going to see a lot of Dead Hard being used. And even then, if someone fucks up with Dead Hard, well, guess what? They got to unhook someone else safely in order to use it again. So you're not going to see nearly as much Dead Hard. It's still going to have that annoying factor to it, but it's not going to be nearly as prevalent. However, it might see a resurgence again, just like Dead Hard did before when it got changed. So who knows? We'll have to see on that one. But Dead Hard doesn't exist in the portion of the game that really matters to get pressure, which is the early game. So I'm all about that. And you're going to see it less, and you're going to see more variety in terms of exhaustion. So that's good. That's good changes. And now for the part that a lot of people are upset about, Billy. Billy's overheat has been drastically reduced. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's possible to rev your chainsaw for the entirety of a hook stain. So trust me, they reduced the overheat on Billy quite a bit. He did get a base kit buff if you don't use engravings. However, engravings getting hit is one of the dumber things that they did, and I think that they should definitely revert. There was no reason to nerf engravings. I know they got used a lot, but that was because of curve billies, and curve billies are very fun to go against. They throw entire games just to hit cool curves. There's no reason to change that. I think curve billies are fine as is. There's a reason they're used a lot, and that's because billies usually are giga chads and are just trying to do fun curves. So definitely one of the changes I think that they should revert. Overall, all the add-on changes are decent too. The Gen Kick meta is going to see far less value, and in order to get value out of Gen Kick, you have to use all of the perks with it. You have to use Call of Brine, Overcharge, and Eruption, and even then it's not going to be nearly as drastic as it was before because all three of those perks just got hit. So it's going to require a lot more synergy to make a Gen Kick build work, and you're going to have to use killers that specifically go towards that kind of playstyle, which I'm all about. I prefer chases and interacting with survivors anyway, not defending a 3-gen for 20 minutes, so that's good. The flashlight changes where flashlights no longer interact with killer powers very much at all. I like some of it, but I don't like other parts of it. Like with Wraith, for example, I think it's fine to take that away. Same with Hag, but only because with Hag, they added an ability to take away traps without a flashlight. They added a unique interaction to be able to do so, so that's completely okay with me. However, removing the interaction for Nurse and Spirit and Artist, why? They're already top tier killers, and that was some of the only things that you could do against their powers in order to counteract them. And now these killers that barely have any counteraction with their powers in the first place have even less things to do in order to counteract them. So I don't really agree with all of the changes. I don't know. The top tier killers maybe just need adjustments themselves in general. I've always thought personally Artist should be 110 speed in the first place. But yeah, the flashlight changes, I think I understand what they're going for with those interactions being changed. But it does, in fact, make the game more stale when it comes to interactions with the killer. However, I'm not for it or opposed to it one way or another. This overall patch, while I enjoy it a lot, does concern me about a certain meta that might be brought up with it. Because you'll notice with this patch, they changed a lot of things, but not toolboxes and not the idea of doing generators faster. They seem to really like that idea. In fact, the only buff that they really did for Survivor was to a perk that allows you to do generators faster. So I'm beginning to see a problem here where the meta might be bringing in toolboxes and brand new parts and built to last and hyperfocus and stakeout and streetwise and just burning through generators. And that's not fun for anyone. That's not fun for survivors. That's not fun for killer. And so I do worry about that. Maybe they'll need to tweak toolboxes because, again, you got to realize they just nuked healing. They just took away medkits and being able to heal yourself with medkits very fast. Medkits are going to see a huge decrease. And flashlights just got changed a lot, so you're going to see less flashlights overall because interactions just got took away from that. So what's left? You've got keys, which already got nerfed and people don't use very much. I think keys are underrated in terms of ore reading, but overall they got changed a lot. People don't bring them in a lot. And so then you got toolboxes. Toolboxes are going to be brought a lot, and people might center a lot of builds around those and just burning through generators as fast as possible. Maybe with resilience as well, since you're going to be injured a lot. So that's a big worry I have about this patch. I also worry because Nurse and Blight and Spirit and Artist and these killers, these top tier killers just got indirectly buffed. And that is a big concern, a big worry. I don't know how they touched Billy add-ons, but then they didn't touch Blight's add-ons, where Blight has half of his add-ons are some of the best add-ons in the game. Blighted Crow, Blighted Rat, Alchemist Ring, Compound 33, 31, whatever the eerie one is. I'll correct it in the editing. Adrenaline Vial. They're nuts. I have no idea how Blight didn't get touched. I don't know how Mother-Daughter Ring didn't get tweaked with Spirit. I don't know how Artist is still 115. That still bothers me. But yeah, I definitely have a concern with the top tier killers in the game getting buffs from this update. That is definitely a concern, and they probably should have been changed. But hopefully they have something set out to change those relatively soon. But overall, my view of this patch is very positive, which is strange because usually I'm very pessimistic. And a lot of people are complaining about this patch, but I think that it definitely needs tweaks. I definitely think healing should be changed. I think the Billy engraving should be changed back. I think that Mangled should probably be changed. I do think it needs tweaks. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's perfect. I think it needs adjustments, and I think some things are stupid. But overall, I like that it's chaotic. I like that both sides have to change things up. I like that Jin kicking is gone. I like that Autodidact might become a meta fucking perk. That's great. I like that it's causing people to have to think of different builds to run and what could possibly help them out with being able to counteract the other side now, because either side can bring in some crazy stuff. I like chaotic, significant changes, and so this patch is right up my alley. But anyway, let me know what you think. I know a lot of people are upset about it. Let me know if, what I said made sense. Hopefully, at least what I'm saying makes sense and why I enjoy the patch. And if you're going to give feedback on the right things. I've seen people say, oh, the healing changes suck. Why do they suck? Do you not like the base kit healing? Do you not like the actual med kits? Do you not like circular healing? Either way, thank you for watching. I know this has been a rather long one, so, thank you for listening to me ramble on for a while. Take care. Let me know what you think, and bye-bye.